Hello and welcome to the Real Reader Society. If you're a sci-fi fantasy loving bookworm or you just want to listen to some review and discuss books and movies we love or have just discovered, we're so glad you've joined the Real Reader Society. Each week we post what's coming next so you can read and watch with us. I'm Kate. That's Kate. Have fun keeping track of that. Boy, oh boy. This episode, we are reviewing the final book, at least in the original Mistborn trilogy, The Hero of Ages.
Wow, what a ride.
There we go.
What
What a ride.
a ride. That's all I gotta say. Did you finish that one faster than Well of Ascension? Or
It was
was
about the
it
same. It was about the
really?
same. Um, yeah.
You didn't like it?
I didn't dislike it, but
Oh,
I didn't
that's a political answer.
love it.
Okay.
There were things I liked about it, and there were things I didn't like about it.
Well, let's start with what you liked. What did you like about it? Let's go.
I liked the ending.
Oh my
I
gosh.
liked that. You didn't like the ending?
No, I thought you were being facetious, like you liked it was over.
Oh,
You
no.
actually like the conclusion of
I liked how he concluded the story. I liked I mean parts of it. I liked that Sazed
let's go with it.
Sep
We
Sazed.
had the same problem last time.
I don't know how to say his name.
I think it's well they shorten it to says, so I imagine the full thing would be
Sazed.
sazed or sazed, but
Sazed.
I don't
That
know.
sounds better than what I said. I'm just gonna call him Says, all right?
Let's do
You
it.
guys know who I'm talking about. If you've read this, oh yeah, we're gonna spoil it.
All right,
That's
for sure.
yeah, we spoil it. I always forget to say that. Um, I liked that Vin was not the hero of ages. I liked that little thing there, but she was obviously a crucial part of making it happen and
Right.
defeating Ruin. I did enjoy all of the little like pre-paragraphs of the chapters, which you find out is Say's at the end, just as his new
Form.
whatever form he's in, creating things, is him reflecting over everything. I liked that.
Which answered many of my qualms because I was like, how are people living in this world? And then you find out through those
Yeah,
pre-paragraphs that when the Lord Ruler was creating, when he first, had preservation
right. In an
power,
attempt to drive out the deepness, he moved the Earth's orbit, but then he moved it too close to the sun,
right? And then everything
and
he did
everything
after
was
that was
burning
to try
up.
to help stop the original mistake. And I'm just like, why didn't he just move it back?
Uh,
I was like, just move it back. I that was so frustrating. I was like, he moved it too close
yeah,
to the sun, so he made ash mounds, and then he changed everybody's biology so that they could withstand these extreme.
right. He
Move,
changed all the plants. He
like,
changed like
move it back, bro. Move it back. Anyway, I was happy
yeah,
though to get an explanation
yeah.
for it to make sense, and
That did help.
yes, that helped me a lot.
The other thing I liked was that you find out that the Lord Ruler was really not that bad of a guy.
Nope.
And I don't know, I just, the redeemable villain, sometimes it just hits right. And I really liked that in this book because in the first book, he is just painted, he's just evil. Like there's no way that, and then in the second book, they're kind of like, well, wait, maybe we were kind of wrong. And obviously, he did do some things wrong. He definitely wasn't a perfect one, but you I like that we got the answer right about Zane's voice in his head, and you find out the ruler had the same Lord Ruler had the same problem. You find out Vin has the same problem with the earring. I thought that was cool. So a lot of really good parts about it. I mean, my biggest issue, Kate, was just the repetitiveness and the drawn out everything. I don't think it needed to be this long.
Hmm.
You could have kept all of those aspects of this story and cut out a lot of these inner repetitive monologues of a land being like, this is not who I am, but this is who I must be. But this is not who I am, but this is who I must be. And then, like, he's such a good man. I'm not. He's such a good man, but I'm not. Is that okay? Should I wear a dress? I didn't bring a gown. I forgot how much I love gowns. I should always wear pants. Like, why are we still talking about this? Why?
You're right. I was really when they were laying siege to um oh my gosh. What's his name? To the city.
Yeoman?
Yeah,
Or
that
the other one where Breeze was.
no, the other one. The one that they went to
The
because
the one where
what
Yeoman
that
was.
they thought the ATM was at or whatever.
The ATM.
At him.
I thought you said the ATM.
Oh.
Sorry.
You
That
know, they just wanted to get some cash out of their bank account. There's one ATM and it was there.
Oh
Anyway, I felt like that took
my gosh.
forever. And then they're like sneaking in to go to parties. I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, I guess I liked an aspect of that because you got to see how other people perceived them.
Hmm.
And then she gets caught, and I'm just like, what is going on? You let yourself get caught? Whatever. Um, what even was the oh, and then we find out freaking Homeworld is at the pits of Hathsim.
Has
Hath.
some Hussein?
Anyway, and I was like, it's been there all along.
That is very tricky of the Lord Ruler, though,
Yeah.
to make them think that they're taking them out, but they never left.
Yeah, that was brilliant, I thought.
That was brilliant. That was a brilliant move. Yeah. Very well thought
He
out.
did a lot of things. He had to do so many things secretly because Ruin what could be wherever and
Right.
influencing whomever who if they were, had this the spike with
And he,
the blood allomancy, which was ugh, so gross.
oh, yeah.
Very gross.
But I was so sad about Vin's mom too. I was like, her backstory is already so tragic and so sad that you find out Ruin made her mother go insane to do
I
that.
know.
I was like, that's horrific.
It is
Like, we
horrific.
couldn't have we couldn't have had that happen any other way. Like,
What's weird, what I didn't
that's
love about
horrible.
that is I feel like in the beginning, when we hear about her mother dying, there is never any mention of a little sister at all from her the whole first book. And then randomly it drops that, oh yeah,
Did
my
did
mom
that not
killed.
happen until the second one?
Right. In the backstory in the first book, when she talks about her mom dying, there is no mention of a little sister because I was like, wait, what? So it felt like
Oh,
I was like, I don't think Brandon Sanderson intended on her earring to be a part of that that whole
right. It
thing.
came later.
It came later and he was like, my mom gave me this. She's like, my mom gave me this earring and it's like special and precious to her. And then we find out in book 2 randomly, oh yeah, she killed her with this earring and then gave it to me. You're like, wait, what? You have a sister who was murdered by your mother? I don't know. You never get that. And so that kind of bothered me because if we had known from the beginning that my mom murdered my sister and didn't throw it on to us in the second book to set the stage for the third book with the
Right.
voice and everything, that felt I had a hard time getting over that. I was like, but really? I'm like, okay, I'll accept.
I also thought that it was interesting. I understand that Ruin wanted Vin to release him from the Well of Ascension.
Right.
So he didn't drive her as mad as like he did with Zane.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't get is they essentially realize he's not omnipresent. He can't
Right.
be everywhere all at once. He can focus his attention on specific people at specific times. But Zane, I was like, what is so special about him? Because he heard the voice
Every moment of every
his
day.
every moment of every day since he became an Allomancer. So I was like, why was he so special that you haunted him
Right.
forever? Like
I
why
didn't
why were
really
you with
understand that
him for
either.
so long? That didn't make any sense to me because in this book he came and went because he couldn't be everywhere all at once and he needed like Marsh to do something and then Marsh would be like, "Oh, well, he's left me now." But I know that he's kind of got his eye on me that if I start to act weird, he's going to come back right away. So it's like he could be aware of you, but not controlling you.
Right.
Because how it is like with Vin, where there were times she was still in control of those Colossus, but she didn't remember or think about them.
Right.
But
It was
she
like
could then, oh, like
subconscious.
I'm gonna check in on them. But she wasn't actively, I don't know. I just felt like that was a little thin.
Yeah.
It was
Especially
a
given the
little
fact
thin.
that Zane was like my whole life. Every time I see somebody, the voice tells me to
Kill
kill
them.
them.
Yeah. And
And then
Vin
for
was the
what
only
purpose?
one that he didn't, which makes sense because he didn't want Vin to die because he needed her for the Well of Ascension. But
What made me sad was the realization that Zane could have been saved. And he was right in thinking that she would have saved him because she would have. Because they figured out
right.
about the spikes. They figured out about, that really disgusting type of, what's it called?
Hair, it starts with an H.
Because of blood.
He somewhere.
Yes.
We're
We're
looking,
looking.
folks.
I want to call it, because I was like, oh, that makes sense because blood. Uh,
So you have
Hemalurgy.
hemalurgy, and you have ferucum,
Farouk, chem, chemi, Farukami.
Farukami.
Farukami,
Thank you.
So Farukami, Alamancy, Hemalurgy, and was
Right.
that all of them?
That was all of them.
Okay, that one
And
was
then just being
and
a
normal
godlike
person.
creature.
So
Um,
Hemalurgy was designed by Ruin, not the Lord Ruler. Or was it?
correct.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
At least that's what I understood.
And then
What I understood
preservation.
was that the
Oh, go ahead.
allomancy powers were from preservation. Um, and so when preservation gave up its mind to trap ruin in the Well of Ascension, it left those beads there for them to become allomancers. So he
Right.
was giving them like his power,
Right.
but for, the hemalurgy was ruin's
Ruin.
power, and the frucomancy, fruca, did I say that right? I don't know
Farukami.
what it is. Furukami is kind of a combination of the two because the metal has to be like on you or
Mm-hmm.
like attached to you, like a
Right.
part of you, like a spike, but it's not as hard. Like you're not taking it from someone else, you're taking it from yourself.
Right.
So it's like the more peaceful version.
What I didn't understand was if preservation gave up like a little bit of himself to all of humanity, how he could be growing weaker because from the time that he did that, or yeah, he did that. Like the population was growing, so wouldn't he be existing more? Or does that not
He,
matter because it's separated from him because it's in humans? Does that make sense?
I think that it's kind of I think it was essentially kind of the same where he could he could have appeared to anyone who was an Allomancer in the mist, just like how Ruin could be with anybody who had the
Spike.
spikes. But he used, so they said what? Like they had body, power, and mind.
But he gave his body away.
He gave his
Is up.
mind. I
Oh,
thought he gave his mind.
I thought he gave his body
Be-
up.
I thought he gave his mind up, which is why he was like losing himself.
Oh, did he give up both?
And his power was the Allomancy. And that's why because when they made that comment about like if Eland had stayed and talked
Missed.
to the mist spirit, he would have seen the dude like
Oh, his body fall.
the dude's body fall because
Oh,
then
right, right,
he
right.
because the mists were like his power, right? That's why they would swirl around the Allomancers, and when his body fell and he essentially like wasn't that anymore,
He
and
went back to
then
his form,
and
which
all the mists were able to go into Vin.
right. Once she got
And
rid
then
of her spike,
and then she became like the preservation whatever
God.
floating thingy.
Yeah, all I could think of was like
I don't know.
I was like real I was like, wait. I was like, Vin, you are that was really it was weird because when Vin and you find out Vin and Elend, whatever his name is, die, I didn't feel sad. I don't know. I was like,
I
that
didn't
makes
either.
sense. I feel like that made sense. And then
Yeah,
when Says combines ruin and preservation and creates harmony or whatever, and they're there, and he like I don't know. I loved that. I liked that there was something else for everyone to look forward to. So it wasn't like it was like he restored the earth because he's so smart, he could do it.
right.
He knew how to do it. And then when everyone's coming out of the cave, so underneath the ground or whatever to like come out and he's like
Yeah,
passing
right.
on.
That the Lord ruler
I
made.
teared up, not not at anything except for when oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The Tin Eyes, the guy that like was
Spook.
Spook when he got a message from
Oh yeah.
I like teared up. I was like, "Oh, he needed that." It was so sweet. 'Cause it redeemed him because I felt for his story. Like I liked the siege in the other place with Breeze and all of them. Like I liked that much
Yeah.
better. And I felt the weight of like him thinking he's doing like because you're reading it, you're like, ah, no, this isn't this isn't good, you know? Like you're playing into evil's hand and he's thinking that he has finally like made it, you know? He's going to earn respect, he's going to be seen, he's going to carry this legacy and then he finds out that it was all a lie. Oh, like my heart went out to him so much because there's nothing worse than number one already not having self-respect than thinking that you're worthy of respect and then having it not only taken away, but then the shame of doing something wrong when you thought you were doing something right. Ugh, I felt for Spook so bad. And so at the end, I'm so glad he wrote that because it just seemed like what was, I don't know, it was like perfect for me. I was like, thank you. I teared up. That's like the only part I teared up on. I didn't like, if Breeze would have died, I probably would have been sad because I liked Breeze. But when Vin and their bodies are laying there, I was like, well, yeah, I don't feel like that could have gone any other, do you feel like they should have had a
Yeah.
happy ending? Or do you feel like that seemed right?
Um, I felt like it seemed right. Yeah. I was a little surprised when it was all of a sudden like, oh, and he beheaded a land. I was like, oh, wow, okay,
There's no going
that
back from that.
there there is no going back from that. And Vin's response was really interesting though, where as part of preservation, she's like, I realized like I already had lost him at the Well of Ascension, and preservation just gave me more time with him.
Right.
Like she has that realization. So she's like, so I'm not sad because, and that's surprising that I'm not sad. But I did like the line then when she kind of turns to Ruin and was like, you shouldn't have done that because he was the only reason I had to live. Now I don't
Right.
have a reason to live. So you're
So,
going to die.
so we're dying together.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Yeah, yeah. It
I
was
liked
kind of,
that, but her reaction was a little, I was like, I just,
that seemed a little psychotic.
he,
He
well,
was your
he just,
husband.
I mean, they never were really that romantic. I had a really hard time ever investing in their relationship because I just feel like romance is not Brandon Sanderson's strength. The world, the cunning, the like slowly revealing secrets, the fantasy, the political aspect. Like he writes all of that super well. He does not write the romance well. So I was never invested in their relationship
Right. Maybe that was a
ever.
part of it too, because you don't really care. I didn't don't care whether they're together or not. So then when they die in this self-sacrificing way to save the world, okay, I'm good with that. That's cool. That's fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. It's just if you had felt maybe invested in their relationship and you loved them as a couple and they made this book so special to you, then it would have been heartbreaking. But it just wasn't any of that. So the most
I
sad thing
know.
to me actually was when Ten Soon takes out his blessing spikes and becomes just a normal Mistwraith again. To they vowed that if this were to happen, they would remove their spikes so that Ruin would
Hmm.
not have, any lose power. And when Ten Soon is like, it's time, I was like, Ten Soon, no. Oh, what a great character, honestly.
He
I
was a
feel like
great
he
character.
was one of the best characters. And I did do a little sneaky peeky, and he is in other books of the Mistborn
Ooh.
saga. So I was like, okay. Because
So
we,
maybe because, well, that would make sense because Sayes did, he was fascinated by the Khandra. Obviously, he owed a lot to Tensoon.
hmm
So if he comes back and he has ruin and preservation, it would make sense that he would find a way to restore their species.
yeah, because the Conjurer is so cool. I think he does. Does it ever say that he restored the Conjura? Because it talks about all the things that he restored and brought back and reset. And
I don't
was
remember
Conjura one of them?
him. I don't know, but I mean, he did say like I'm still figuring this all out. Like there's more I'm gonna do, but like I still have to figure this all out.
Okay, so hopefully, I mean, obviously, because I did do a little, a little googly.
Yeah.
I was like, is Ten Soon dead? Because he went back to the Mistwraith form, but then everything was like
Right.
reset. And so I was like, is he dead? Because it's not like definitive. And it just said he pops up in other books. I'm like, well, then he must be alive, unless it's a prequel,
Right.
which we are
He did.
left. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he did set it up with Spook and going after the other two metals and
I know. What did you think about that?
obviously
Were you a
rebuilding the
little
world.
like annoyed that Says knows all this stuff and he's just like keeping it a secret? Because he's like, I know all of these things, but I'm not telling I'm not telling people. Like, but why? If it's gonna help people, like why?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I didn't put that much thought into it. I
Kate, you were like, I was just glad it was over.
kind
So
of
I actually
I
enjoyed it. Not as
I
much as the
did
first
enjoy
one.
it. The first one was the best one by far.
By far the best one.
Where which is interesting because with the inheritance cycle, for me it's opposite, where I feel like it starts bad and ends really good. With this one I felt like it started really good and it diminished as it went on.
Yeah, it dragged out. a bit.
I just feel like the he was very clever in writing all of the different Easter eggs and different parts of the mystery of how are we going to defeat him, and nobody really understands the world because the Lord Ruler had to keep, and you find like why did he have to keep it all to himself? Because he could never write it down, because then Ruin would find out and it would all be for nothing. Like what a problem to solve. But
But
all
he
while
did
he's
figure it
tormenting
out.
you in the mind.
Right.
He did figure it out, but it took him a long time. But anyways, I just feel like they should have it either should have been two books or they should have figured everything out in the second book and then it should have just been them solving the problem in the third one.
Mm.
Having absolutely no idea what's going on, like having characters who have zero idea what's going on for three very long books, to me was too much. Not knowing what's going on in the first book, that's totally fine. You're setting things up. But like all through the second book, they had no idea what was going on. Vin's like, oh, I think I'm the hero of ages, goes to the well, releases this thing, and they're like, now we really have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And for all of this book, they have no idea what's going on. You, as the reader, start to figure it out because you're getting Say's little snippets at the beginning of each chapter. But they, as characters, like literally have no idea what's going on until the very last second.
Right.
And even
And then
even
it's
then,
over.
yeah, and then it's over, and you realize, oh, Say's has all this information that he was given through the keepers from his religion. So he's the perfect person to become the hero of ages because he can restore the world to what it was because he has all that history and knowledge. But we still don't really even know much about what happened, just that they figured out a way to beat the guy.
Well, Vin killed him.
Yeah, they figured out a way to beat the guy.
Oh. My question was, I was thinking about it, and maybe they were the original, right? The original preservation and the original ruin. Because I was like, this could
I think
literally
so.
just keep
Yeah,
happening. Except now it
right,
can't because he stopped it by combining them into one new power. But something
right.
that bothered me was how could preservation and ruin create anything anyway? Because
They
preservation, well, listen, just let me talk it out.
I'm okay. Wow. Yes, mom.
Because preservation implies something is already there to preserve, and ruin implies something is
Mm.
already there to ruin. They aren't in themselves creators, they are only secondary. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? There would have to be something to preserve to be preservation, and there would have to be something to ruin. And so that for them to be called preservation and ruin and together they create that act that does not make any sense to me at all.
That's fair.
So it felt like preservation should have been creation and ruin could still be ruin or even decay. And then they would
Right.
have their, you know, deal like, hey, I'm going to create whatever I want and eventually I'm going to let you destroy it all, which is stupid anyway. Anyway,
Yeah. No, now that you've gone down that rabbit trail, because it does seem like because preservation, his power was the one at the well that
hmm
the Lord Ruler took in. But then once the Lord Ruler took in only preservation, he was able to create new things. He created the Mistrace and the Khandra, the Colossus, and the Inquisitors. But the or no, he didn't create the Inquisitors. That was Ruin,
right,
right? That
ruin did
was
the
more like
Inquisitors.
Ruin's power. But he was making his own Inquisitors,
Right, and he was making the ash mounts and he was
right?
freaking
And he made
moving
mountains and moved
changed
the
changed the
earth,
topography so that where the well
right?
was no longer there. It was somewhere else so he could hide it.
So that implies that you didn't. I mean, maybe maybe they made something new as opposed to what was already there, because I guess technically you could say he took humans and he made them something different. Whereas it's implied preservation and ruin together created the human race. But
Right, which
afterwards, like the Lord Ruler didn't make any new, like totally new species. He took humans and he then like perverted that creation into something else.
yeah, but I guess my base thought is that without
But you're
even
right.
not
That
talking
doesn't
about
make
the
any
Lord Ruler,
sense.
why did preservation ruin create anything anyway? They are not in themselves creators. They are the secondary.
Right.
You have something created and then you ruin it and then you preserve it. You don't preserve something into existence because there's nothing there to preserve. Anyway, that really bothered me, set me on a rabbit trail. I literally was awake after finishing this book. I was just like, wait. And I literally had probably super boring inner monologue trying to figure it out. I'm like, why did he call
No,
it that?
you're right.
He should have called it something that actually meant creation, life. Maybe, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
he was just trying to be different. But anyway, that was that. Are you glad it's over? I'm glad we read them.
I
I
am glad we read them, but I am glad that they are over.
I actually feel like I enjoyed them more than you this time around.
I think you did.
I did. I did enjoy them. I definitely think the
They're
first one was the best. The second one was the worst, and the third
first the
obviously comes in
worst.
second. First is so my
Oh,
oh, we can't say first is the worst, second is the best.
I know. I almost said that and then I realized I was like, wait, no, that's
Oh, we can't
backwards.
do it. My score for this one was after breaking it down was a 3.7, which is
Whoa.
weird because
You
somehow it's
gave The Well of
lower than
Ascension a
Wells of Ascension.
3.8.
I know, I'm trying to see
Yeah.
where that came from. I think it was,
Interesting. Interesting.
oh, it's because I liked the plot better, a little bit better in of Ascension somehow. Maybe because Hero of Ages,
Really?
maybe, I don't know. I don't know. That's how I did it.
Hmm.
I wonder if it's because, I don't know. Oh, maybe because of the siege in the other town with Breeze and Spook. I really liked that storyline. Or was that in this book?
That was in this book.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should swap those. Can I rewind time? Wish I could turn back time to the good
Um,
days. It's okay. Be real.
yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.7. I thought this was definitely better than the second one. Not as good as the first one though. The first one I gave a 4.2. Um, but I thought he wrapped up a lot of stuff pretty well and was really clever in a lot of his writing. So, not all of it,
Yeah.
but it was new ideas, new stuff that I've never read before, and I liked it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't like, "Whoa, I love
Yeah.
this
It
series."
wasn't like I wish we had the same feeling we had with the first book with all of them. It would probably be my favorite trilogy
I
in
had
like
such a high after the
recent.
first book.
I know, me too. We even rated it lower
Yeah.
than we wanted to give room to go higher. That was how naive we were. Oh, the good old days.
Well, can't win them all, I guess. But we have some fun reviews coming up for you guys. Um, we've got we kind of broke our own we we broke our own rule when we started because we realized that we were not set up to review shows. However, this is now the second time we've done this because we did it with the Agatha Christie series on Netflix as well. We watched the whole series, The Young Sherlock, that was on Amazon Prime. And we're gonna let you know what our thoughts are this weekend. And next week, we are reading the second Sherlock Holmes novel, the original Sherlock Holmes novel by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. We're reading The Sign of the Four.
The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Probably not. It would not be that interesting. I already know. I'm excited.
Oh
We got
my
some fun stuff
gosh.
happening.
Yeah,
So
some
I'm looking forward to it.
fun stuff coming up this end of spring and summer. It's gonna be good. So yeah, huzzah. Um, and oh yeah, it's still me. Send us characters you'd like us to talk about, book recommendations, subscribe, follow us, leave us reviews and comments, or don't. I mean,
We're gonna be here regardless.
we're gonna be here regardless. I'm here for Kate,
I'm here for
so you
Kate.
guys,
We just have fun.
but we do love you. I just love her more. Anyway,
So until next time, may your to be red pile be ever growing. Ta ta. I think that was
TTFN.
a me.